Sergio Martino is the fourth most popular Italian director. In my opinion, fourth most recognizable name. He has done a lot of movies. Very specifically, I found this one to be interesting. All the Colors of the Dark, 91 minutes. A desperate and psychotic criminal targets Jane, a young woman who stands to inherit a fortune. Slashed and scarred, Jane tries to believe it's only a nightmare, but everything she turns in the subway, on the street, the man with the knife is there. A mysterious woman offers to cure her by means of black magic, but the satanic rituals only aggravate her condition, catapulting her into a kaleidoscope of psychedelic horror. He also did 2019 after the fall of New York, Mountain of the Cannibal God, Torso, and starring George Hilton, My Dear Killer, A Fistful of Dollars, Edwidge Finch, The Case of the Bloody Iris. One of the most entertaining giallos ever produced. This glossy, fast-paced psychedelic thriller careens from one frantic high point to the next. Yeah, I mean, this was just a whiplash freaking. You're looking at this one moment and it's like, okay. So we're starting off with some very interesting imagery of a woman who is trying to give birth, but then through what can only be described as Clockwork Orange sets. The baby is unfortunately a stillborn, and this really starts to affect the mother. And it's like, oh, that sucks when you really want to just, when certain people in relationships want to have bear children, offspring, progeny, etc. And then that happens, and you're just like, ooh, that sucks. So what happens? She decides saying, hey, oh, yeah, come join this cult and you'll experience, your libido will increase tremendously. You will want to engage in a whole bunch of intercourse. And it's visceral. This is a visceral movie. Holy smokes. I mean, when I was sitting there and watching it, I knew that this would be a ride, but I didn't know what. This movie, I said, it grabs you by the jugular, clavicle, or right here, and just like, okay, let's go, come on. And so contemporary setting, it's like a person's descent of what is real and what is not, and this is handled extremely well. Definitely Edwina is certainly acting, does some screaming, yes, but that's to be expected for here. But when she's definitely going that with the psychosis, the breakdown of everything, especially when she keeps seeing a stranger with those piercing, contact blue eyes and the kind of long hair, and you can tell she's just trying to avoid this suspicious schmuck. Yes, a suspicious schmuck. Frenetic pace here, in my opinion, represents the more just how fast everything is going on, like the breakneck speed of her descent of figuring out what's going on, especially during the cult's rituals. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of weaving and bobbing back and forth while this guy with really long nails, who's the high priest or whatever, is claims I will increase your libido and I can also help set another woman free. They sacrifice a puppy. Don't worry. It's a dummy. Don't worry about it. Um, but just with all the people going in on all the imagery, it's just so bizarre, but so great at the same time. Of course, there's even a second one where a woman releases herself by having Jane stab her, but of course, Jane herself, there's a little bit, she's like just completely innocent in all this, as her sister Mary deals with what's going to happen. It's like those two were set to inherit a fortune going on, and it's like, but Mary disappeared. Where did she go? Well, she's been having some connection with this cult, all the while that Jane is doing. It was like, at first she seems fine, that she's having a good relationship with George Hilton, Richard, but alas, there is some tumult, there is some problems going on, of like how she's saying that he can't understand everything about her, which, that always happens in a relationship or whatever. And it's just like, eventually, no matter who tries to help our hero, there he is. There's Mark. There's Mark Dunham, something like that, who eliminates a doctor and two housekeepers or whatever. And it was just, you see it, and you're just looking at these bodies. I'm just looking at them. I'm like, man, they really are a bunch of a-holes. But yeah, you get some blood in. How much blood was it? You get some blood, not a lot, but when you get a couple of people that are, you see their necks and everything, it's like it's the blood that's done right, is what I'm seeing here. Obviously you know how you always have those staircases where the camera's attached to the bottom and just shows it goes up? Well, it shows, I guess you could say with staircases, stairwells, it shows the confusion and agony that protagonist is suffering, just like when they have it here and then down, and goes downward like that. So you get a lot of good, you get a lot of interest, you get truly a lot of interesting shots, especially during the orgy. I would call it that, and maybe even she's in the doctor's office. She's talking with the doctor and everything, and it's just a whole bunch of case of who done it and everything else, and not listening to women thinking like, oh, you're just being hysterical, honey. That is what I got. Is what I perceived during this. The plot itself all works out really well. It's, of course, it's revealed at the end that it's a front for drug smuggling. Yes. And who was that? I think it was one of the neighbors that was introduced, or Mary, was pretty much like running some stuff behind the scenes. And that the high priest with the facial hair was also doing some stuff. So it was just a very interesting way of how things worked out. The music is avant-garde jazz, which at the same time, I guess you could say, reflected just how offbeat this movie is, adding to a more sinister-ish performance, I guess you could say. It's just so bizarre and so good. Of course, Edwidge Fenech is, no, I'm sorry, yeah, Susan Scott. They're all both great in here. These characters are definitely carrying everything around. So it just, I don't know, just for this movie, it all worked out really well. Normally I'd make this 10 minutes, but it's just, everything just happened so fast, so quickly. Enter a kaleidoscope of psychedelic horror. Yes, I do have to agree with that. What else am I missing in here? Yeah, you got some knives, you just got a lot of good stuff going on. Widescreen presentation, 235 interviews with director Sergio Martino and star George Hilton. Extensive photo gallery featuring production stills, posters, lobby cards, and Edwidge Fenech gallery. Alternate U.S. title sequence. Italian and U.S. original theaters. I forgot what the other title was for this, but it's just like, whatever. So yeah. Let's see. We got the guy over there. We got all the characters. I know I'm missing something else. Yeah. So yeah, if you ever get the chance, like you want to see actually a really good, fast-paced, straight to the point, going for the jugular giallo, then I actually do recommend you watch All the Colors of the Dark.